So I wanted to, get this information out here. I've been studying on this for a while, and it's taken me quite a bit to get my research in order, so I can kind of just flow through this. Today is the could have been Purim. It's the Purim Katan, and I wanted to get a little bit of research because something's Ruach HaKodesh has been connecting some pieces, and wanted to just try to get those. Yes, last week was unbelievably difficult, but he is faithful. And so this is Chabad.org. And as for Purim Katan, it has to do, everything has the beginning and an end. The beginning precedes all other stages and particulars. So we have the could have been Purim, and this is something that Purim occurs on the 14th day of the month of Adar, the day established by Mordecai and Esther as the day of feasting and rejoicing in commemoration of the Jews, our salvation from Haman's evil decree in the year 3405 from creation. But approximately once every 3 years, the Jewish calendar contains not one but 2 months of Adar, Adar and Adar 1, which is the real Adar. When should Purim be celebrated, in Adar 1 or Adar 2? The Talmud rules that the Purim is to be celebrated in Adar 2. Nevertheless, the 14th day of Adar 1 is also a special day. It is Little Purim, the day that would have been Purim had there not been a leap year. And it goes through and talks about having joy. And I really like this part of this when it talks about from the beginning is embedded in the end, and the end in the beginning. And so that kind of got me thinking. I'm like, oh, the beginning. So Purim Katan, the beginning. So it's a little Purim. And so it got me researching some things and kind of taking, how the Ruach wanted me to do this. I wasn't sure, but kind of flew. And then this came up, Revelations 2:22. 2:22. And I'm like, oh, I think I understand what you're talking about. You want me to, because I've researched this word great before. Great tribulation. And it's extremely involved on what this could possibly mean. So you have Matthew 24:21, for then shall be great tribulation. And then he talking about one of the ecclesias, the congregations, will be cast into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into the great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. And then, of course, Revelation 7:14. These are they which came out of the great tribulation. And there's a lot of, lots of information out there, and I just wanted to kind of go in a direction that the Ruach HaKodesh has had me go in. So we're going to start with, we want to look at great. So Revelation 7, we'll go to this one, because this is really interesting. So great is Megas, G3173. I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to view the entry here. Is use of external form size measure of a stone, of degree of intensity of fear, of rank, whether of persons. So it would be Jehovah, Messiah as the great priest. There's Diana, some great one. So we're going to keep going and looking at the roots here. Of the external form or sensible appearance of things or of persons, in particular of space and its dimensions as respects mass and weight great, compass and extent large spacious, of number and quantity numerous large abundant, used of degrees with great effort of affections and emotions of the mind, predicted of rank, persons eminent for ability, virtue, authority, or power. I mean, you can go through here and read this yourself. But I thought when I got to this part, it really made a connection of my last video. And it says, predicated of the external form or great or sensible appearance of things or of persons in particular, of space and its dimensions as respects mass and weight. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's very similar to what they're doing right now with the whole Virgo and Leo. And it says greatest, very great. And let's go through here again, of the external form or sensible appearance of things or of persons in particular, of space and its dimensions. So it seems to be really referring to something, I don't know, mega, myriad, mass and weight, great, of external form and size. Let's see, measure and height, long. Look at this. Wow. It's an appearance of things. So it looks like something is getting ready to come on the scene. And I thought this was pretty revealing of things which overstep the province of a created being. Proud, presumptuous things, full of arrogance, derogatory to the majesty of Jehovah. When they saw the star and they rejoiced, and they saw a great light. So it looks like something is getting ready to burst forth or appear. And this kind of just keeps looping around here. So Magos, G3176 for the word great. Now, as I went through this, I want to connect some more pieces here as soon as I get back to it. And now this is Revelation chapter 7. And these are from the tribes. So as there is a positive, there's also a negative. So somebody, a group of people, probably are getting ready to appear on the scenes. According to just this Magos, we looked at the Greek. I mean, it's very clear there's something there. And I wanted to go here, mass versus weight. And so I'm going to connect this, I'll give this in here, and the whole thing about the gravitational field and what they're doing right now is very significant to this time frame that we're in. So when I went through here and I was looking at the whole concept of mass and weight and when did it start, because this was, I think there's another link that I have. We'll go through here and look at this, and then when I saw this, types of scales and what they measure, which reminded me of the whole video that I did about justice and weights and measures. And it talks about these balances could be moved from the Earth's equator to the poles. It give exactly the same measurement, and the whole thing where the poles are shifting. So, and it's also used in commerce. Now, we'll go through here and we're going to look at the, let's see, that's this one. I already did that. You can look that up yourself. Go just look great in the Bible, in the Blue Letter Bible. You see the mass versus weight and all the concept of that. And then we're going to go to chapter 9. Now, what connected this to me was, here's the great again, Magos. Now, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet. Now, we're going to look up trumpet because it's a concept. So it's not just a trumpet that you blow, a physical object, but what does a trumpet do? It is interpositions, accompanying of divine interpositions, and it's of a natural instrument. But what does it do? And it says of a summons to Yochanan, to the presence of Jehovah, of the act of Jehovah in raising from the dead the saints who have fallen asleep, and changing the bodies of those who are living. And so we're going to view it in its context. And you can go through here, and it's also not just that, but it reverberates. It makes a sound. And there's sound waves that go out from this. So here's the word, perhaps, through the idea of quavering or reverberation. like something is the sounds going out from that. A tossing or swelling of the sea. And so there's only one reference to this, and that would be G4535, and that's in Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. And it goes to the base, to wag the tail. Can you believe that? That goes through all this. And you can click there for the rest of the entry. I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to make this too long. But there's a connection to this and all the things that they're doing. And here it is in Scripture. If you just take the time to go in depth of it and look through it. And then our bound. Now we go through loose. We're going to look at the word loose. To loose any person or thing tied or fastened. It's a root word. And you remember when I did the video in Amos, it talked about who can loose the bands of Orion, meaning that something was bound and it's going to be loosed. And here again, the great Megas. And remember in the description box I posted about river and what that can mean also. Now, and the rest of the men, they didn't repent of their murders, nor their sorceries, nor their fornications, nor of their thefts. And I already did a video about that, and you can look for that yourself. So here is Revelation 13. Now, what really stuck out to me, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Jehovah, to blaspheme his name. Whose name? It's the name of the Father, Yahuwah, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. Okay, well, why would they blaspheme one, who dwells in heaven? We're going to look this up. G3772. Okay, and it says, the vaulted expanse of the sky with all things visible in it. The universe. And think about this, the vaulted expanse of the sky. Through the idea of elevation, the sky. Probably to rise or rear a mountain. And you can go through and look at this yourself, but I wanted to connect this to a book that I have, and it's called The Sabbath by Abraham Joshua Heschel. Okay, and this book is so awesome. And I'll just give you a brief little synopsis of it. Now remember Cathedral, right? And go through here, see where it is. And this is Shabbat, and here's one of the things that God gave me a concept of. Shabbat as a sanctuary in time. The Sabbaths are our great cathedrals, the Jewish equivalent of sacred architecture. And they had permission to reprint this, some of the ideas of it. Every hour is unique, and only one given at the moment, exclusive and endlessly precious. Judaism teaches us to be attached to holiness in time, to be attached to sacred events, to learn how to consecrate sanctuaries that emerge from the magnificent stream of a year. The Sabbaths are our great cathedrals, and our Holy of Holies is a shrine that neither Romans nor the Germans were able to burn, a shrine that even apostasy cannot obliterate. The Day of Atonement, according to the ancient rabbis, it is not an observance of the Day of Atonement, but the day itself, the essence of the day, which with man's repentance atones for the sins of man. So I thought that the cathedral was really neat because it related and connected this to Shabbat. And maybe I'll do in another video. I don't want to make this too long, but I'll go through the Sabbath, some of the concepts in the book Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote. And I think it'll be kind of enlightening to, look at it in that concept. Now, and he stood on the sea, and the open blasphemy in his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. So the tabernacle, we're going to look at this word. So I started at heaven first, and we're going to look at tabernacle. Tent, tabernacle. Of a well-known movable temple of Jehovah, after the pattern of which the temple at Jerusalem was built. So in the a tent booth. So basically, in the wilderness, it moved. You know, they took it up, and then they followed him wherever he went. Kind of like what the Sabbath would be on the creation calendar. It's just, you know, a concept there to connect those pieces together. Now, there was one passage I wanted to get into as soon as I remember where it's at, about the harvest. And I think it's in this one. Let's see if it's Revelation 13. Let's see. First beast and deceiveth. Oh yeah, an image. You want to look this up, because image, there's some really interesting connections with that. And I'm not going to go into that, because I'm really trying to find this other one. And they sung a new song. And this is not, if you look this up in the Greek, it's not just men, okay? You know, I dare you to look it up, okay? Babylon is fallen, and the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast. So let's look up worship and what that means. So look up worship. Okay, here's the Greek word. We're going to view the entry. To make obscience, to do reference to kiss. Alright? To kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. Among the Orientals and the Persians, to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with the forehead as an expression of profound reverence. And here it is, there's a root, meaning to kiss like a dog licking his master's hand. I don't know, can you think of anybody who likes to have their hands kissed? Ew. So, who's doing that? Who's worshiping by kissing the hand of somebody else? You know, it's very clear, you know, that it's, yeah. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So it goes through here, and then we're going to go through, I'm looking for the harvest, because there's more than one harvest. And it talks about this in Revelations, about the angel coming, and there's more than one angel with the sickle reaping. Okay, let's see here. The sight of the beast. So just go through this and look through this yourself. And I wanted to get these connections out there. I apologize, it's been, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster, and I'm going up the hill, getting ready to, you know, brace myself for the the big hill going downwards. And I mean, I don't even know what the word to describe what I'm feeling is, except for that. And it's something's getting ready, and I'm like all excited and nervous, and I'm bracing myself like I'm on a roller coaster ride. So but look for the angel one about the multiple harvest, because the angel thrust in the sickle, and there's another angel that thrust in the sickle. So there's at least 2 or 3 of them doing that. And I wanted to get this out. Well, blessings and shalom.